everyone, and welcome to episode 3 of the Knittynina Diaries. My name is Doris, otherwise known as Knittynina on Ravelry and Instagram, and this is a podcast that celebrates and promotes my love for the fiber arts. You're going to see lots of knitting here, some crocheting once in a while, and recently I've been dabbling into some sewing. I am super excited to be back with you in this beautiful month of November, my favorite season of the year, one of my favorites I should say. I love fall, and it's a beautiful crisp day out there, and we have a lot of sun. Unfortunately, by the time I kind of got home from work, it was a little dark, so hopefully there's enough light to film this. But very happy to be back here with all of you. If you are a new viewer, a warm welcome. Hopefully you'll stick around, and thanks for stopping by, and maybe you like the content and subscribe. That would be great. And for all those returning viewers, thank you so much for coming back. I'm so excited to have you all back here. For those who subscribed, a huge thank you. And those as well who took the time to also send me a sweet message via comments. I read each one of them, and I believe I responded to each one of them. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Makes my heart grow warm, and it gives me kind of that vote of confidence that sometimes we need when we especially start something new. And it's a bit scary and to put ourselves out there. But listening and reading your kind words of encouragement truly have given me kind of the gasoline to keep on going. So thank you so much. I've got lots to show you, so let's dive in. As you know, I always like to take a sip of my tea before we get started. And kind of highlight this cup. I had to use this cup today because it's just so pretty. I'm going to show this up to you closely. Hopefully you'll see it. So this is just, the colors are so foliage for me, right? Just that beautiful orangey and gold and rustic orange. Just so beautiful. This is handmade pottery, Japanese handmade pottery. And I have the box here from a company called Kokuzo Gama. Let me show that to you right there. Hopefully you can see that. Kokuzo Gama. Beautiful handmade pottery. Truly a true work of art. Every piece is unique. And just this one reminded me of fall. So I wanted to kind of showcase that cup for today. And then I have this on my coaster. This guy, you have to see this, it's adorable. So this is so cute. Time to put my feet up. Does that say time to put your feet up? Your feet up. Dun-dun-dun. I got these in a collection so many years ago. I don't even know, gosh, maybe 8 years ago, and they came a collection of 12, and they're so adorable. It just makes me happy. So that's my little coaster. So let's start with finished objects. I've got, if you recall in my last episode, for those who watched it, I was working on fall socks. I'm putting them on my blockers here, and I was working on the first one, and it was with unisono yarn that has self-striping, yarn that has aloe vera and jojoba infused in it, so it's super soft. It just feels like silk when you put it on your toes and your feet. And then I was working with one sock, and I had the cuff in a Malabriga. Was it Malabriga? Forgive me, no. A Madeline Tush Rusty. I started the cuff So I was knitting it from the cuff down to the toe. And I kind of asked you guys out there, hey, what do you think? Should I continue with this color, or should I look for the chocolate that was in part of that stripe sequence that I never got to, but I really wanted to showcase? So I believe it was Janet who wrote back and said, you know what, I think you should go for the chocolate. And guess what, Janet? I listened to you, and you were so right. Oh, and I forgot to say thank you for your service as well. Janet served in, I believe it was a U.S. Navy, so thank you so much for your service. And yeah, so I changed it, and here it goes. These are it. Oh, I should have put the second one on. Hold on, because I did finish both. And it's interesting because when I was unraveling, frogging that part, you know, I thought it was, you know how you unravel something and it just keeps going down, right? And it's really easy. But when you remove a cuff that you knit it from the top down and you want to remove from this section up, that part of removing it is not as easy. So I learned that the hard way. I had to pull each stitch by stitch and pull it, but it was so well worth it, because here you go. These are my fall socks, and I totally love them. I think they scream fall. Let me show this up close to you. So this is a knit one rib. Hopefully this is focusing. There we go. Knit two, purl two, cuff, and then I continued with the sock here till I divide it for the heel, and I did a slip one, knit one heel, and it's one of my favorite heels. Besides the partridge heel, I love that one. I don't know why I'm having a problem focusing. It's got to be the lack of light, maybe. There you go. I just think they turned out so nice. And you know what? I wasn't expecting matchy. And you can see right here as I hold these that this and this are different. So I kind of had to, oh, this one I think was bleeding into chocolate, and I said I don't want the chocolate, so I kind of looked for the part that started green, and I just kind of connected it. So kind of did my own mishmash of, you know, maybe cutting and re-yarning just to have this look, but for the most part, all of this was just the complete self-striping of the sock. And I really like them. And I think that pop of chocolate, dark, really kind of reminds me like a chestnut, an acorn. I don't know. I love it. And I think it was perfect. Because the other one was really orange, but I have so much orange down here that just, I think the chocolate turned out beautiful. So thank you, Janet, for your great suggestion. And yes, I'm going to be wearing these next week during Thanksgiving. So it should be very nice. And I did block these, and I got to tell you, the yarn is so soft. So soft. And the stitch definition really kind of just bloomed and softened and relaxed. Just gorgeous. I really like this. So fall socks, check, completed. And then let me show you my second FO, finished project, finished object. And I do need the blockers. Guess what? I did another pair of socks. And these I did not block, but I might just do so. So these, hi everyone, sorry about that. I had to stop and see if I could find the label of the sock that I used for the second pair of socks. And unfortunately, I don't know where I put it, but I'll pop it in here. It's, I know the name is Schossenmeyer Regia. and it is a cafe facet color collaboration that he did with Regia. And Shashenmeyer is a yarn company, and these turned out, I love them. This is kind of like a broken rib, and it's a waffle stitch. I believe that it's called waffle, the waffle pattern. I'll pop it in here. I think it's a free pattern, as a matter of fact. As you can see, it's a 2x2 rib, and I started from the top down, then goes into this really beautiful kind of very textured waffle. And once again, the slip one, knit one, heel. And let's see that, you can see that up close. And the other side, it's got a lot of teal, chocolate, kind of that rose. Just really, really nice. And the pattern ends right here. Well, I kind of ended it right here. This is 2.5 inches before my toe, and that's when I stop this repeat, and then just went straight into decreasing for the toe. Let me show you both of them. And oops, I put this the wrong way. I really, really like them. I haven't worn them yet. These were not blocked. You know, sometimes I block my socks, sometimes I don't. It all depends. But for these texture, I don't think there's going to be a need to. These were knitted. This is a 4-ply yarn, and this was knit on a US 4. And I love working on socks. My traditional recipe is 64 inches on a size US 2. But once in a while, I'll do a US 4 sock with kind of like a sport yarn. And this is pretty much a 4-ply yarn, which you could use a US 4. And let me show you both of them. I really, really like the way these turned out. Just the colors are very kind of fallish a bit, although you don't have that orange, just that chocolate and the teal, just very cozy for the fall. And because I make them just like the other pair, I tend to knit from here, with including the cuff up to before I divide for the heel. This is usually 7.5 and 8 inches, and I like it because I can just kind of squish it, you know, like this with my boots or my slippers, and I like that kind of leg warmer look, if you will. Gosh, I'm going back to the 80s, but it's just really cozy with a pair of slippers. I just love it. I love it, love it, love it. I might put a picture, insert a picture here of me wearing them. But yeah, this is the second pair that I made, and again, it was a lovely pattern to knit, and I believe I'm going to be knitting more of these. So definitely very pleased with the yarn. You know, these commercial yarns, believe it or not, are, you know, my experiences, some of the best in terms of what's the word I'm thinking, how they wash and how they wear, in terms of pilling. They do wonderfully. Wonderful. So this is the second pair of socks, and then we showed you this first one. So now my third project is something that I showed you at the end, or I kind of showed you that I had gotten the kit at the end of episode 2, and it is the kit that arrived, if you recall, this little bag from Barrett Wool and Company on episode 2. The Fall Harvest Charm Set Kit. And the beautiful colors. I think I showed, no, I'm pretty sure I showed all the colors that I got. They came in this little cute bag. The kit is sold out. Having said that, this Fall Harvest Charm Set Kit, I mean, you just look it up in Ravelry as Fall Harvest Charm Set Kit, or you'll see the pattern, and you can purchase the pattern and recreate it if you want with your fall colors. I really think that with a rustic kind of palette, you would do beautifully in this wreath. So I did, before I show you the complete wreath, I started with, I did a small of the pumpkins and I gave it to a friend as part of a gift. I don't know if I took a picture of it, but if I did, I'll insert it here if I did take a picture. And then I came home, and then I went to see her and her husband, and I made a little acorn that was part of the kit as well. I did it at her house, and I left it there. And it was really cute. I mean, it was the minute, teeny, just adorable. But then when I got home and I said, okay, now I want to create, and I mean, forgive me, I've been using the word wreath, and it's not wreath, it's a garland. I said, you know what, I want to make it just a little bigger, just the size a little larger. So I tested a couple of sizes, and this is a separate one that I made just for me to put it on the dining room table. And this is the pumpkin. Let me show that to you up close. And it is very, very cute. And it has a little eye cord, and I just think it's adorable. I just think it's so cute. So that's one pumpkin, and then the rest, as I'm getting them here, I had to remove this. I had this hanging on an old mirror window I have, made out of wood. It's all mustard yellow. So gorgeous. I got that a long time ago in an antique shop and out here in this area. And I put it there because it just pops, because the twine that came part of the package is this mustard kind of yellow. And without further ado, this is the wreath. And I'll go one by one. So here's a second pumpkin. Oh, sorry, it's kind of tangled here. So this is the first, another pumpkin. This is a little smaller than this one, by a tad. And again, the pattern, once you start doing the pattern, you could multiply, double it, triple it, change the type of yarn from worsted. You can do bulky. And then you can kind of play around with different sizes, which would look gorgeous. Like for next fall, I won't have the time to do it for this Thanksgiving, but imagine a set of different size pumpkins in the middle of your table as you're hosting Thanksgiving dinner. I think it would look gorgeous. And then some little candle lights. It would look absolutely exquisite. So that's the pumpkin. And then I threaded these as I go along through the beginning here, and then I come out with a needle. And then let me show you, before I show you the yellow leaf, I'll show you this little green one. And the reason I'm showing you this one first is because this one is the actual size of the leaf they call for in the pattern. I didn't change any number of stitches. This is exactly what it is. And they kind of like fold a little bit. I don't know if you're supposed to block them. I didn't block them, but I do like it to fold a little bit because it gives it that texture of a true leaf. So once I saw this, I said, you know what? I'm going to start playing around with the pattern. And this is the second green one that I made, and I kind of changed it up a little bit. So as you can see here, let me let go of the string. If you can see here, it kind of goes on that angle, just like the pattern calls, and then it makes you make this kind of cut right here, and then you wrap it up. So it just goes up and you wrap it up. So I kept going straight, and then I did another cut, kind of like that whole maple leaf look. And this is what I came out with. And then I changed colors, and I did a yellow one, and I really, really like this one a lot. This is the yellow one, and this is, again, me playing around with the pattern. And it kind of, once again, you see those edges, comes out, and then it cuts in, and then I bring it out again, cuts in, and then the tip of the leaf. And that's how that looks. And then I did another one in purple. And I think it's just so adorable. And you know what? If you have burgundy yarn and you made a leaf out of this, oh, it would look gorgeous. Because you know those burgundy, you see more burgundy than deep purple, but I guess depending where you are in New England, I think you see more of these purplish. But I think it's just gorgeous. And I did the same thing. I went in, out, and in, and then to the tip. So those are the leaves. I showed you the pumpkin. The next one that I made, it's getting all tangled here, bear with me, is, let me show you the acorn. Now the acorn I originally made at my friend's house was teeny, wait me for that. And this one I made a little larger. Maybe it's too big of an acorn. Maybe it looks like a golf ball. No, but I think it turned out really cute. I mean, a little big. But I think it turned out cute. See the kind of the, all of these are little like, it looks, I think it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think it's 8, like an octagon. And it has like little ridges here and points. And then it's all straight, stuck in it. And then you start decreasing and you make this little tip. And then you see the top little thing here. I just think that is so cute. I really like it. It looks a little, it looks big. It looks like a little dreidel actually too, you know? It's just beautiful. I really, really liked it. And then the last piece that I made, and I think this one is the one that took the longest to make, not hard, just a little more time, is this one. And this one is your pine cone. And it should be like this flat part here. I don't know if I should be blocking this, but, you know, to get that shape, or maybe I didn't stuff it enough, but to kind of get that cone feel, if you will. There you go. I kind of pulled it too much, but it is really nice. And here, let me show it to you a little up close with all the nubs. So it's not that it's hard to do, it's just a little more time. It took me a little more to do all these little nubs. But it truly looks like an acorn, a pine cone. I think it's adorable. So that is that, and then I threaded it all across, and there you have your, ooh, let me move this leaf like that a little bit. The garland. The fall garland. I just think it came out really, really cute. And you know what? I'm very pleased with the size. Because from far away, it just kind of pops. And then next year, I'll make the true, really small size. But I highly recommend the pattern. I think it's adorable. It makes a great gift. And if you don't want to knit the whole kit for somebody, you can just knit a little one of these like I did. This, what the pattern calls for, the actual size. And I wrapped it around with beautiful linen ribbon on a gift. If I have a picture, once again, I'll pop it in here. And it's a statement of love. You know, if you want to give a bottle of wine to somebody in the fall or something, or a pack of, you know, beer, pumpkin beer, you just, you know, attach it with a little twine and put a pumpkin around it for somebody. I think it gives it a very, very cute look. So yeah, very pleased with my, my garland here, my fall harvest garland. So that is that. So those are the 3 finished objects that I'm done. And then what I wanted to show you is works in progress, my whips. So if you recall, and I'm just placing this here, I was working on a blue sweater. Oops, it fell, excuse me. For my dad. And he won't be watching this podcast. He doesn't even know I have this podcast out yet. I have to tell him. And so I'm working on the sweater, and it's the cable, and I believe I talk all about the pattern and the yarn I used. I talk about it in episode 2, so if you're interested, want to dive deeper into that, feel free to check that episode out. But I wanted to show you my progress. Nothing super major, but I'm moving along. And let me just get my, so I had, this is the back, and then I had maybe one of these left fronts almost finished. So I finished that all the way to the top. And let me show you that up closely so you can see all the cabling that went into it. Truly has a lot of cables. And I'm sure when I block this, these cables are going to relax and they're going to pop. So I finished that side, and then I worked on the second side that I think I was up to here, the right front, and that is complete. You can see once again the cables running along. And then this is the binding of the neck, and this is the shoulder. Now the shoulder, I binded it off. I might remove these stitches and do a Kitchener stitch. I'm not sure yet. So that is that. And then the next thing I did is I went ahead and picked up, I had these on a stitch holder, the back, and I put them back on my cable needle, and I have worked one row, and I can show you that up close here. And you can see the pattern that's next to it. So you have the cable, and then you have this kind of like very deer pattern on the right and the left of the cardigan. You see all those cables. Now I think I did one set, so I think I did like one section like this. Now, yes, a lot of cables. There's no question about that. As you can see, and the front carries it, and the sleeves will carry it from here all the way down. But I gotta tell you, if you like cabling and would love to do more projects but feel that it just takes too long to do all the cables, I highly recommend to check out videos on YouTube on how to knit a cable without a cable needle. And that's exactly what I've done with this and other sweaters that I've done. It is amazing. Once you learn how to do it, and it's quite easy, it just goes so fast. I'm not exaggerating. It goes really fast. And you don't have to take the needle cable out and everything. You just do the twist as it goes. Things that that work best, if you will, when you do this cabling is that I don't think you should do a cable without a needle if it has more than, I mean, I've done it up to 6. When you remove 6 stitches without a needle. And it really depends on the yarn, quite frankly. So the toothier, kind of the more grip that yarn has, the more rustic that yarn has, the more bite. Chances are when you remove those stitches, and they're kind of live, but you're holding them kind of between your fingers, they tend to stay, right? And then you just pop them back in. And merino, this is very soft merino wool, but it hasn't been slippery. But let me tell you, once you do that, it goes pretty fast. So I highly recommend it. There's a sweater on my Ravelry page that I did for my father. It's way below in the page. It is a silk tweed merino. I think it has a little bit of cashmere beige yarn that I did, a whole like Irish sweater with honeycomb cables. It was just a masterpiece of a lot of cables, and that I did without a cable needle, and it went pretty fast, and it turned out really nice. So if you want to see that, you can check it out there. But so I'm folding it, right? So here's again the left, the back, and the front. And I just have to, I believe, do maybe one more repeat in the back, and then bind off. And then I'm ready to do the sleeves, 2 sleeves, and then I would have to pick up stitches along the sides and start seaming and doing all that. So I have plenty more to to go. Not sure if, you know, my goal is to get it done before Christmas, but, you know, I don't know. I'll see how it goes with my schedule. So that is that. And then the other thing I wanted to show you, a work in progress, is... Oh, I've got to show you this bag because I think it's so cute. So I got this years ago in Etsy. I'll have to see if I still can find it on my purchase history. But I think it's so cute. Somebody made this out there in Etsy. And you have to check out the fabric. It is gorgeous. You can see up close. Just different sections have different textures, and this section right here of the flower is like a chenille, and it feels like it's engraved, embossed. Oh, I just think it's great. And the colors scream fall. I don't know about you, but they do. They might not necessarily be fall flowers, but just the colors. And it's huge. I call this my Mary Poppins bag. I feel like I'm Mary Poppins. I just need an umbrella. And some great dance moves and some great singing, right? And the handles are lovely. They're all cherry. And the inside, just so pretty with that stripe. Again, this is my huge kind of carry-it-all knitting projects, multiple projects bag that I use in the fall. So, what I have in here, as we continue with bags with motifs, oh, I love this one. This is all in linen. You see the little leaves. There's a bee there. Another bee. What I have in here on this bag is a sweater pullover that I started as well. It's going to be a Christmas gift. And I just had, oh, here it is, excuse me. I had this here. So on my Ravelry page, I made my dad's wife this sweater that I'm making right now, and she loved it. It's a very easy pattern. It just goes fast. It reminds me a little bit of the cobbler sweater, no, cobblestone sweater that was really popular back there with Jared Flood. And that's what that reminds me. Let me show you a picture. I called it, the name in my project page is called Lavender Lilies. I did it in a cotton wool for the spring summer. And let me show that to you. This is how it turned out. I don't know if you can see it. It's really pretty. And let me show you so the top, it's a boat neck, all in garter, and the bottom is all in garter. Here's the bottom, and I added a little label, the ones that I do add on my purses that I've shown you on episode 1. I added it to the bottom waist, or lower than the waist, and it just added a really, really nice touch. So I'm doing the same sweater because she had told me, hey, if for Christmas or for fall, I'd love the same sweater, same design, same pattern. Her fit was perfect, maybe in a charcoal. So that's exactly what I am doing. And let's start with the yarn. So the yarn I am using is Drops Sky. And this is 50% super soft baby alpaca and merino wool. And just like it says, it is super soft. And if you look at it closely, it has a little bit of that chain feeling. I did a cardie, more like a duster, long, you know, what they used to call dusters, a little long cardigan. And you know what? I'll make sure to show it to you on episode 4. I don't have it with me here. And I did it, I think it was called Naima, from Naima pattern. So I did it in the same yarn in a teal blue, and it turned out really nice. I'll have to show it to you on the next episode. because I haven't posted. I have some projects that I still haven't posted it on Ravelry, so I'm behind maybe 7 or 8 projects that I need to post. But this is the same yarn that I use for that sweater, and again, very crunchy, very soft, not crunchy, soft and cozy. So that's what I'm doing, and I'm using this color is, just to give you the colors, color 04, and once again, it's kind of a grayish slate. Very nice. I don't know how it will wear, but that we shall see with the test of time. So let me show you. I started the front piece, and you can see the garter. And it called for 3 1/4. I did 3 1/2 of the width of the garter, and now I'm in pure stockinette. So I've got to tell you something. I was working, I had up to here maybe, so from stockinette maybe up to here, double, and as I was working I realized I dropped a stitch. I'm like, So I untangled everything, went down to get the stitch, but it was like a lot, like this much. And picked up the stitch with a crochet hook and brought it up. But by the time I brought it up, it was just too holy, you know, like a lot of little holes, and it wasn't looking good. And I kind of really upset me, but it was something that you would see. It was so obvious. It looked like a pulled run in a stocking, so I had to pull it all off, but I'll get back to where I was. But let me show you then here closely. This is the stockinette side, so right, so net, and then that's the right side, the public side, and this is the inside, which is obviously all the pearls. So I'm moving along. Really easy pattern. Literally, it's this, and it ends with the same garter stitch, like here, as a boat neck. You do 2, you seam them together, and 2 sleeves that are like short sleeves, or mid sleeves, I should say, up to the elbows, and it's done. So, I mean, so far so good. I really like the color. Yeah, so we're moving along with that. That is my work in progress. Let's see what else I wanted to show you. And then, yes, let me, oh, you know what? I've got to show you. We're on the pumpkin mode. I've got to show you this pumpkin. So I told you that I went to my friend's Sally's house, and I'm going to insert a little bit of video at the end that you can see all her animals. Gorgeous. I got it too much of an up close, but you'll see some of the sheep and the goat, and the 2 donkeys are to die for. And then went out there, and we also met up with another couple that we knew, and we've been friends for over 20 years. I mean, she met me in a past career I had, and she's a sweetheart. She's like my family. So we met another couple that we hadn't seen in 20 years either. So they came over, and the lady that came by gave me this. And this is so cute. Look at this little pumpkin. Oh, isn't that dear? And let me tell you, ideas. We could do this, us makers. This is a great idea for maybe next year for fall. Get some really cute fabric, stuff it up, put some of this felted. I think it's adorable. And look at the button. Oh, right down there. I love it. I just love it. Look at, excuse me, coming down. And then you do a little family of pumpkins. So love it. Love my pumpkins. Love my fall. Okay, and then obviously what I'm wearing, I'm going to remove it right now because I'm getting a little warm. I showed this on episode 1. I love it. I've been using it all this fall as soon as it got chilly. This is my hollow shawl by B. Mandarine. I absolutely love it. It's just extremely cozy. And then what else I wanted to show you is, so I recently got this yarn in the mail, And I can't wait to start a project. So I'm going to show it to you. It's kind of part of my, oh my gosh, I totally blanked out. What was that acronym I made up? A width works in the horizon. Sounds like suffering succotash. Whoever remembers Sylvester the cat, right? The width works in the horizon. I want to make something with this, and I already know what I'm making, but I have to show you the yarn because, I mean, we're talking fall colors. I just think this is right up my alley for the fall. This is Barrett wool. This is their worsted weight, 100% American wool. And look at this forest green. And then this can certainly take you into Christmas. Let me see if I can get this to focus. Oh, forgive me. There you go. Is that gorgeous? I don't know how it's picking up, but it's a beautiful, beautiful forest green. And the color is Big Woods. So beautiful. I got enough for a cardigan. And the cardigan that I'm thinking that I want to do is, so everybody was doing the Felix pullover, which was a rage out there, and a lot of people, I'm kind of late to the game with that one, late to the party, but I'm going to be doing the Felix cardigan. And I really kind of like it with this shirt. This is like a linen plated shirt, and I think this with a cardigan would look so cute with the Felix cardigan. So this could be a project that maybe it'll be cast on and I start working on it for episode 4. Who knows? Anyway, love this. I'll have to let you know how it knits up. And then from a Notion kind of goodie standpoint, I wanted to show you, I had told you about the company that does the pins that I love, the Henrietta, the hedgehog. This is her cardigan. The owner's called Heidi, and she's so cute. She includes this as well in her little box when you buy something. You are the best. Let's see if it focuses. Thank you for making my dream job come true. I think that's what it says. I don't know if I can recall correctly. But it's a really cute little card. Nice. It could work nicely for a bookmarker. So for her, I had gotten some things. I think I had shown you the stickers last time. I've been using those. But I had to get these 2 pins that just came out because one of them screamed fall. And I just slipped inside my box. Okay, are you ready? So this one is part of the Henrietta Amazing Adventures. And are you ready? Look at this. OMG. Wait, let me see. Oh, look at that. Isn't that adorable? It's Henrietta going apple picking with her little brown chocolate scarf. She's got a basket full of apples ready to come home and make apple cider or apple pie. I loved it. Loved it. So that is so cute. And then this one, well, this one is rather springy, but I had been put it on my wish list for her to tell me when they got it in. And I just had to get it because it's adorable. You know, with a basket of flowers. She's got some books. She should have one like this and needles and yarn hanging out of the basket. What do you think? And then the last one is this adorable pin. And I loved it because A, it's cats. I mean, I grew up with dogs, so I love dogs. But because of my schedule and I was traveling around the world, I couldn't have dogs. So I have cats, but they act like dogs. Ask anybody I know. They fetch the ball, they run. It's crazy. But I got this one because I wear glasses that are pretty much this shape. Oh, let's see. And it's a kitty cat, and it says, "Go away, I'm knitting." It looks like my Lily that you met on episode 2. And you haven't met my boy, little Eli, I think he came walking out. He did a little cameo appearance in the back. He was white with black, but he's kind of calmed down. And they're both taking naps right now. And then the last piece is this dearest little washi tape that has Henrietta knitting. Oh, I hope that, there you go. Which I think is adorable. And this is perfect for, I do journaling, but this is perfect for keeping track of the place you are on the chart in your pattern. You might have seen me use washi tape, the pattern that I was doing for the Harvard Square mail cardigan, that I put a washi tape. So you put your pattern, I printed it out, I put it in a plastic folder, and then I just use the washi tape to let me know where I am, and then I just peel it off. It doesn't leave any residue. I love it to keep track of patterns. So that is that. Perfect. I think that's all I've got for you today. So it was so nice to be here with all of you today, as everything apparently is falling off my table. It was great to be with all of you today here, and but I look forward to seeing you next time on the next episode. And until then, keep on making knitting, okay? Be happy, be safe, be creative. Ciao, everyone. See you next time. Ciao, ciao.